Vehicle Assembly Building. We're the only tour that gets a chance to stop by and get some really good pictures. Everyone else just drives by the building. They're almost 5 miles away from it. Distance is really hard to understand here, especially when we get on the NASA Causeway and we're looking at the paths. You know, anybody who works here is don't turn me off. You know, wherever you work, there's 10 different space centers in the United States. There's a nice map in the Atlantis building on the ground floor that you can find out where they're located. It'll also point out where hometowns of the astronauts can be, and also contractors. 2/3 of our country still makes it happen. And if everybody doesn't dedicate to their jobs, we don't get ourselves off the ground. We're growing into this transition and where we're this close to physically getting man back off the ground. I see next year. It would be nice to happen this year, but it's probably not. Just to get off unmanned is important right now. And looking for probably November to definitely see the Boeing capsule going up there. We actually have 2 headquarters facilities right now. The old one is still standing. We've been here since 1962 as we established. And the big chiefs get to park out front and pick up vehicles too. But the new one's standing right next door. And it's 7 stories tall. Still going to house at least 500 people. Center director is Bob Cabana, who's also a 4-time shuttle astronaut. Right now he gets the whole 4th floor to himself. I don't know if he gets the whole 7th floor over here. We'll see. Probably not. But things are changing really fast. I see trucks here every day, so that means office equipment coming in, and furniture for everybody. I'm sure everybody can be kind of happy to have some new stuff. This is Neil Armstrong Operations and Checkout Facility. This is really one of the most historical facilities here because this is where the astronauts have stayed since 1965. That's Gemini Titan IIs. The medical exams and briefings and suiting for launch was here. The Gemini astronauts did not suit in this location. They were taken back over to Cape Canaveral. They went to Pad 16, put on their suits, and they went right next door to Pad 19 for their launches. 10, 12, 15,000 people. And I think when we get to manned launches again, we'll be doing that. After the shuttle did retire, we brought a few people to come out and watch a few of the unmanned rockets. About 800 at a time, which that's nothing. But when we did the big Delta IV for the Orion capsule, we had definitely 10, 12,000 people out there. That's a lot of work. You got to rope the water off for starters. You got to bring out all the portalettes. You got to set up refreshment stands. Don't worry, they're also selling souvenirs. You don't get away from that. Usually NASA Exchange is doing that instead. And then we're so many people here, they usually would put one of our teams of paramedics on site for the just in case. But it's really fun to be out here with lots of people just as excited as you are. The bleachers here are Boeing. So you can have Boeing guests sitting here, or possibly even some NASA guests sitting here. SpaceX put another set of bleachers just before Cape Canaveral, which I hadn't noticed anybody yet this morning that had blue stickers on for the history tour. But that's a lot of fun. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday we get to go to the Cape side. But as we step out here, please do not approach the water's edge. We have alligators. Mom and Dad take their own separate vacation or holiday right now. When they come home, male usually returns back sometime in August, and his job is to make sure to check the nest, kick anything out that shouldn't actually be there. A few weeks later, sometime by September, the female comes back, and before you know it, comes around the end of October. Whenever we make it to Mars in the future, we have another rocket that we haven't even worked on yet. The cargo version for Space Launch System is supposed to go up to 383 feet tall, which is 20 feet taller than a Saturn V, and reach 9.2 million pounds of thrust. That will be impressive one day. It was 1963 when the construction started on the Vehicle Assembly Building, and there's a cool picture when we come back here and stop that shows the groundbreaking where the steel pilings are already going up. By 1966 it was completed, and we had Space Center doors, and we were going in. Allowed us to walk in there all the way till 1978, so that was even 3 years after Apollo was over. That first door on the right side is called High Bay number 2, and the door on the left is High Bay number 4. Number 4 is the only place that had no assembly at all. It's always been storage all these years. Now these small buildings were constructed for us to put our winged vehicle, our orbiters inside, so they named them Orbiter Processing Facility. To think about, if we put our car in the garage to work on it, we can put spaceships in there. And when we talk about that winged vehicle, she's only the orbiter. That's the only part that went around this Earth with our gravitational pull and no power. As it's orbiting, it becomes the orbiter. Named after all, after great ships of exploration. So sitting in front of number 3, where they're working on the Starliner capsules, there's Crawler Transporter number 1 off to the right, number 2's over here next to us on the left. Each weighs 6 million pounds, built originally by the Marion Powered Shuttle Company of Marion, Ohio. Took a year to reassemble each one. Saturn V, Saturn V's, and space shuttles were carried with them. Number 2 right here will be Space Launch System. See the gray pipes and black hoses? Those are all brand new hydraulics. Oh, she spent 3 years in High Bay 2 for major upgrades and maintenance. That's the start of the Crawlerway. That's 6 million pounds by itself. Now, these little platforms were designed for a different rocket. They called them Ares 1. Unfortunately, they were cut after 4 years. But look at the 3 big holes in Mobile Launch Platform number 1. Flame chutes. 3 main engine flames up front, 2 solid rocket booster flames in the back. Kind of add those together. 5 F1 engine flames are going through there. That weighs like 9 million pounds by itself. You can't pick that up off the ground. That gray giant water bottle, yeah, that's just a big water bottle. You have to put different amounts of water in it to test our cranes in the Vehicle Assembly Building. There's 2 325-ton cranes, 2 250-ton cranes, and 1 175-ton crane. Look at this big, funny gray-looking object coming up. This is one of the 2 tail service masts. Right where it's all covered up, this is where this thing will be mounted up there. It's doing the very simple things. It's going to provide fuel, provide all the electricals and any communications you need for the rocket. And you need 2 of them because one does liquid oxygen, the other one does liquid hydrogen. We got to see Crawler Transporter number 2 sit underneath it for a short time, for about a week. Doing some little special testing checks. They didn't actually pick it up. They were just doing some testing with it. But you can kind of tell that it came over this way because look at the Crawlerway. Kind of see a little bit leading towards that direction. One day we'll be picking this up. We'll come into this first door. We'll see some of the doors open. This is High Bay number 3. 45 minutes later the doors are open or closing, either way. Set it down. One difference, when you set those down, the pedestals aren't gray, they're yellow in the door. So it's one difference, they're all gray outside. And then the transporter needs to go back to the parking area. Give them the time to build the new rocket on it. Before you know it, it'll come back in. It'll pick everything up, and the ride to Launch Pad 39B is a good 7-8 hours from here. So So door 1 on the left, door 3 on the right. You can see some of the platforms inside there. The new ones, there's 10 to give you access to Space Launch System rockets. It has been fully modified for that next generation. But doors 1, 2, and 3 were Saturn V's. Number 1 also on the left, built Saturn B's. Then Shuttle days was number 1 and 3. And now only 3. So think about it. 3 Saturn V's could have been going up at once. 2 space shuttles at one time, and next time only 1 rocket for Space Launch System. A and B are completely different from each other, but they're both going to launch man. 2 different types of generations. We built these lightning arresters back in 2008, accommodating a manned version and an unmanned version of Space Launch System. These are up to 600 feet. You look at the wiring together, that's your Faraday cage. There's a turkey buzzard up there. How you know his head's red, his head's black, he's a black vulture. Unpaid sanitation department. That's what they are. So everything stayed the same all the way up until 2011. Even the old fixed and rotating service structure stayed there. The last shuttle that stood here was Endeavour, and she only played rescue for the Hubble mission of STS-125. She had to do that twice. The initial flight was supposed to go off in October of 2008. Hubble failed 2 weeks before the launch. We have a part to use to fix it, but they said this thing's just so old. This is just way outdated. We had to make something new. So they took Endeavour and rolled her over to Pad A, sent Atlantis back to the vehicle assembly building. And we brought Atlantis back out for May of 2009, and Endeavour made it home enough to do her mission, turn her right back around, and play rescue again. If not, Discovery would have done that job. But by 2011, the structures that were on the pad, they took them down completely. They scrapped them. Now we're back to that clean pad concept where the rocket and every equipment all comes together. Pad B's a little higher in elevation by a couple of feet, a little farther by roadway compared to Pad A. This is a 7 to 8 hour ride here, 4.2 miles, 6.8 kilometers. We always went to Pad A because it's closer, it's 5 to 6 hours, 3.4 miles, 5.5 kilometers. Time and money, we all know that. What are these big objects on your left? Those are actually...